Hello, I'm Richard and I'm one of the guides here at Gloucester Cathedral. And I've been talking about the area outside the cathedral, the precincts. Today, I've moved to the area that was the monastic infirmary. The infirmary that was large and important because this was originally a very large Benedictine monastery. And part of the ethos of the Benedictine order was care and hospitality. Here we can see the remains of what was a very big infirmary. These are the southern arches. The northern arches have all but gone. Behind me is this big house, today called Dulverton House. And this was where the head of the infirmary lived. He was known as the infirmerer. It's a huge house showing his importance and his status within the Benedictine community. Today, it's used as a sixth form centre by King's School, but within it are the remains of the original medieval house. We're now looking the other way. We're looking at this very interesting black and white timbered building, today used as a schoolroom by King's School. But in the time of the Benedictine monastery, this was known as the Miséricorde, the place of ease, because it was connected physically to the infirmary. And it was where monks who were perhaps not ill enough to be looked after in the infirmary, but perhaps wanted a bit of ease from the regime of the Benedictine day, would be accommodated. They would have food cooked in the kitchen beneath here. There was a herb garden in front of it where the cloisters are today. I've moved to the playground of King's School because this area, soon after the dissolution, late 1600s, early 1700s, was known as Babylon. Why Babylon? Well, the infirmary had been closed down and it was used as accommodation for a number of people. Lay clerks who were singing the services, poor people, and it became an area of disrepute. In this area here, houses sprang up. Difficult to believe it today, but there were a number of properties here, and they were built against this wall. You can still see evidence of those houses in the wall. The housing also carried on down what we call Dark Passage. And in 1850, the cathedral architect decided to level this area. I have seen a map which shows that the headmaster's house was where I'm standing, but it couldn't have been for very long. Behind me is a modern hall used by King's School. It's called the Ivor Gurney Hall. And this was the early schoolroom for King's School. For King's School actually had their schoolroom in the library inside the cathedral. But one day it burnt, it got caught fire, and they had to move out. So this is relatively modern. We're going to move on now to another part of the cathedral, the part of the cathedral that was, for a long time, a cemetery.